Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So tonight's video is a little bit different than what I normally do. I've had a lot of people ask me what kind of paper do I print on, and I actually print on many different types of paper. It all depends on what I'm going to be using that digital on. So I have printed on several different types of paper, and so excuse me, I figured this would just be a good time to kind of go through and show you the differences, how the paper looks, the colors of the paper weights, and that kind of stuff. So I've printed the same exact thing on everything so that we would have a good idea. Y'all please forgive Hope. She is pitching a fit because she's in there and I'm in here. The only difference is on right back in here. I realized I had a black line and I took that off, but that's the only difference. So you'll be able to see the differences in the colors and how it looks. Now, this first one here, look at this and listen to it. That is printed on Glassine paper. I will say this, when you print on Glassine, as soon as it comes out of the printer, you need to set it to the side and let it dry, because it does take a little bit longer for it to dry. Now, I am printing using an HP Envy Pro. So it is an inkjet. And I use the HP, the Instant Ink program, and I will try to link my specific printer, which they probably don't have it no more. They probably have a newer updated model of it. But anyway, I'll link the one that's comparable to mine, and I'll link my my link for the HP Instant Ink program, because that is such a money saver. Oh my God. But so anyway, this one is printed on the Glassine paper. The color, once it dried, the color is actually very nice. It doesn't feel, now I don't know what it'll do, you know, if it were to get damp or if I were to put glue on it. And so maybe that's something that we'll try after we look at the papers. I'll try to glue something on this, or try to glue this onto something, and let's just see what it does. Because I have not printed on Glassine before, but because I was doing this video tonight, I was like, you know what, let me just try it. So this is the first time I printed on the Glassine. I do love it, and as long as the glue doesn't mess it up, I will be doing this more often. So this one is Glassine. I don't know if I can write on the Glassine or not, but we will. Okay, so that's the Glassine paper, and you can see it's got a little bit of a shine. Okay, and now this next piece, we all know what this is. This is Vellum. I love to print on Vellum. Absolutely love printing on Vellum. It gives it just such a, I don't know that I would have printed, you know, this little invoice type thing is not something that I would normally print on Vellum, but like I said, because I was trying to show the differences, I wanted to just print across the board, and this was the last thing on my iPad, that's why it got printed. Same thing with the Glassine, with the Vellum, is just after you print it, just let it dry for a bit, but it doesn't, I've not had any problems with what I've printed on the Vellum coming off with the glue, so I'm hoping it's going to be like that with the Glassine. I just don't know. But printing on Vellum is amazing whenever you have like a really, like my, God, I can't even think. The vintage rose kit that's just so full of color, and it's got the roses all over it. If you print that on Vellum and then use it as like a window or a pocket, it is gorgeous. So this one is Vellum. Let me write that on here, which I think we can pretty much see that. So there's our Vellum. So we have our Glassine and we have our Vellum. So you can see there's a huge difference in the two. They print very much the same as the way the ink does. This one has got a lot more color. It's brighter, it's shinier. This one is very muted, very matte. All right, and then, excuse me, this one here is just regular 28-pound copy paper. This one is the HP copy paper. This is great. I mean, you know, it's a very, you know, it's It's not a very sturdy paper, but it's great for journaling and that kind of stuff. I would use this paper to print these on because I would probably end up folding these and putting them in a journal. So this paper would be great for that. It is a white paper, so the color may be a little bit brighter than on some of the other stuff. But it looks really nice. It printed good. It printed very clear, very plain. Okay, now this is my preferred. This is what I normally print. When you guys see me showing digitals, this is the one I print on. And this is a 110-pound cardstock, and I believe it's the Nina that I use. I don't know. I'll have to look. But this is my preferred. This is what I use pretty much across the board. Anytime you see me print a digital or have a digital, 99.9% of the time, it's going to be on this paper. I like the color of it. It's a very good color. It holds the color well. It dries quick. It's real sturdy. I don't feel like it's flimsy, but it's not too thick. So like I said, this is my preferred. This is the 110-pound, I think it's the Nina cardstock. All right, and so I also printed on a piece of like a cream colored cardstock. I don't know if you can see the difference there. So you can see the difference that it made in the digital itself. So when you want to immediately make something look aged, if you print it on like a cream or ivory cardstock, you can see the difference as to what it done. I mean, that's just simply from printing on a different colored cardstock. Otherwise, everything's about the same. Now, this is, I'm going to hold that out right there. This is done on the presentation paper. This is that really expensive paper. This is the double-sided presentation paper. And I have some of this, and I keep it on hand, but it is not something that I don't know, for the price and all, I really think my little cheap, and it's not cheap, nothing's cheap nowadays, but I think, you know, it's not enough of a difference, and I like this better than I do the presentation paper. So, you know, it's one of those things, I guess that's personal preference. The color of the paper is about the same, but for some reason, I like the color better on my 110-pound cardstock versus the presentation paper. So, again, like I said, personal preference. All right, and so then I printed on doodle paper, and this is the kids' doodle paper. You can pick up a pad of it at Dollar Tree, and you can see immediately how aged it looks. It is very vintage looking, straight off the printer. It is thin enough that you can really antique this up and make it look very old, very quick. Because it is that yellow background, it's automatically looking very vintage. So that is the doodle paper. Now the other thing I love to print on is this newsprint paper. Now this is a gray color, so you can see this, you know, the difference in the coloring. You can buy these pads. You can also get from Dollar Tree, and I forget exactly what it's called, but you want the gray stuff here. And the ones that you get from Dollar Tree, in this one here and this one, you will have to cut it down to 8.5 by 11. I did order a ream of this off of Amazon that came in 8.5 by 11 because this makes it really good faux antique, faux vintage papers, and we might, it looks like we'll have time to kind of do some of that. But you can see, you know, there is a color difference. I'm going to put these two together, and a lot of that is because this paper, the background is a gray color. I don't know if you guys can, let's see. There you go. You can see the difference there. So this is very much like a newspaper type feel. All right, and the other thing I printed on was drawing paper. Again, this is from Dollar Tree. It's just a pad of paper. This is thinner than the 28-pound paper that I showed you a few minutes ago. But the color and all is really good. And I actually like the way this one sounds. It sounds vintage. So I do like this, and like I said, you can pick these pads up from Dollar Tree, and this is the drawing paper. I don't know that this is a true white. I guess it is. It looks like it might be. You can see a little bit of a color difference. It's not a big color difference, but there is a little bit of a color difference, but I do like this. And then I've done it on a piece of coffee dyed coffee paper. And this was 28-pound coffee dyed paper. And so you can see where the coffee really was and how aged it has already made it look. You can see the coffee in it. And I love the fact that I could just put this straight into a journal, you know, just like this, because I wouldn't have to worry about the back, because it is already coffee dyed. I will say, before I printed, if it's something I'm going to use in my journal, like if it was this, I would coffee dye the paper and then print on it before I done it in just the white paper, unless it was like the drawing paper or something like that. But this is the coffee dyed paper. Just make sure, if you print on coffee dyed paper, make sure it's completely dry before you go running it through your printer. Okay, and then the last one I printed on was, this is a 90-pound cardstock. It's a little, I don't know. I don't know that, to me, I think I bought the 90-pound cardstock. I bought it on accident. It's not something that I would buy again, because it's, for the price, it's not worth it above the actual paper, because for just a few pennies more, I can get the 110-pound cardstock, which I like the way it prints better. So that is my take. Now, those are the ones I printed on. I will show you the ones that I use. So this one is the one I use pretty much that's almost always. And then I will do this one and this one when I'm wanting to like really make something vintage. And then I have done the vellum quite a bit, but I think I'm going to be adding the glassine to that as well. Now let me show you a couple of things, because we have a few minutes and I want to show you guys what I was talking about on making this vintage looking. So let me just get this out and let me cut this. Let me get my glasses on so I can see, because my contacts don't half work. All right, so I'm gonna cut this and I'll show you how I make something look really vintage. And you guys have, if you've watched my channel any, you've seen me do, I've done some faux vintage invoices where I use this paper. And it really, really, really looks vintage. Okay, so there's that one. I'm going to set this right here for right now, because I'll just work on one at a time. And I'm going to leave this one right here so we can see what it originally... I'm moving, you guys. And I'm throwing stuff down. But y'all knew it wouldn't be a day in my craft room if I didn't do something like that. Okay, so this is how to make this paper look pretty vintage. So imagine, like it was in a book, and this is out of a journal from 1930. And I don't think I've got this in my store yet. Hopefully tonight or tomorrow it will be in there. I didn't scan it all in yet because it was a lot. Okay, so this is what I'm doing, because you got to realize, this is from 1930, so this is going to be in somebody's pocket. It's going to be coated all over the place. So I'm just like really getting it like that. I'm going to tear a little corner. Let me get a pin because like a safety pin, because I want to poke a hole in it. And I don't want to just, well, Lord, I've got a million safety pins because of my quilting, and I can't find a single one right this minute. So we'll come back to that. All right, I'm gonna, now when I'm inking, I'm not doing this to this right here. I'm just taking and dabbing it because I want it to look very like original, you know. And so if this was just in my pocket, it wouldn't have something just like rubbing it this way or that way. It would be on the edge. I am going to rip it a little bit right there, and I'm just going to dab. So again, this is how I make when I'm working on something and I want it to be very authentic looking, even though it's fake as fake can be. This is what I do. Okay, so you can see it's already starting to look pretty good. Now I'm going to take and I'm going to just kind of, I don't really want to do it on there. And I'm going to take the same thing right here, and I'm going to really go on this line where it's been folded all these years. Because it's been folded up and it's really gotten good and dirty there. And then I may even, I don't know, we'll see. I got a crease here. I'm going to put some ink on. And then I'm going to crease it right here. So I just kind of like go through and crease it in a few spots. And then I ink those creases. Right here where it's torn, I really want to get that, because it's really going to get and that didn't sound good. I really want my pen so that I can here, I'm going to steal a pen out of this glue bottle. I want to show you guys. Okay, so what I would do, I wouldn't like punch a hole. I'm just going to take and just like do a little hole, just like a little tear, because that's about all I really want. I don't want to make it look like I just, but you know, something, it caught on something and it tore. And so then I put a little bit more of this on it. Let's get this, let's do a dog ear on it and like really get it good. So I'm just really going at it. Let's see, do we want anything? Oh yeah, we really gotta get this spot right here really good. Because that's my little torn spot. Alright, so you can see, and I didn't do anything to the back, but you can see the difference from that to this, and it feels old. You could take a rusted paper clip and put on it. You could take some tickets or stamps, you know, put like a ticket on it. We could get like a vintage, like one of the paid stamps and put that on it in a real light ink. So there's that one. That's how I aged that one. Let me hold it up for you guys to see. Before and after. All right, let's do this one here. This one is much the same. It's very easy to make it look vintage. That's what I love about these papers. It doesn't take a lot of, oops, I just cut like half of that off, but oh well. It doesn't take a lot of effort to really make these look great for your junk journals. And so that's, you know, kind of what I was wanting to do tonight. Let's just show you guys, because I've had so many questions about my papers and what I use to print on. So that's why I figured I would do this. So again, I'm just going to kind of fold it some. I think it's been in my pocket since 1930. And the biggest thing is just, when I'm, you know, normally when I'm inking, I do it like that. When I am doing this kind of stuff where I'm really wanting to make it look vintage, I don't do that. So I just like the way that it comes out looking when I do it like this. And you don't see the strokes or anything like that in it. So let's see, let's tear it right there where it's been torn so much, you know, where it's been opened so much. Right here on that fold, you know, that's where everything tears the most. Right there, just like that. Let me get that back in there or I'm gonna have a mess. Oh my God, guys, how hard can it be? Alright, so let's ink this really good. And then I'm going to fold it this way and ink it really good. And so you can see where that hole is starting to like really look worn. And we'll maybe tear it a little bit right there on that fold. I don't really like it. And then we can post a couple of little creases in here. I really want to get around the corners since I don't have any of these torn. Because that's what'll age first. So that's all I do. I actually enjoy when I'm doing this because it's just, I don't know, I love to see the finished product. Okay, so look at this one. The before and after. So, I mean, this looks like it had just, it's been in somebody's pocket, and, you know, this would be cute to just, this is great journaling space to stick down into a junk journal because it looks so vintage, but you have a lot of spot, you know, places to write, and it looks so vintage. Look at these. I love them. Okay. And did we want to do anything with any of the others? I think that's, oh, we were going to do something with the Glassine to see how it done. Where did my Glassine go? All right, let's see what it does. Grab this back out. See, I'm already losing everything. Let's cut this and let's just see. I don't know. This is a new one for me. So I don't know if I want to try and age it or if I want to try it with glue first. Maybe we'll age it and see how it looks aged, and then we'll put a little bit of glue on it and just see. because I would love to know how it looks aged. Of course, I didn't cut it good, but it'll be all right for now. I love the way it sounds, so that's number one. Love that. Oh, it feels so good. Oh, I hope this works, because I love this. So it's taking ink very good. I see that right away. Doesn't take much to get some ink on it. Even the spots that I had left the white. I don't know how well that ink is going to stay on it. Maybe, I don't know if you would have to use a stays on with this, or if this would stay on it or not. Oh, I hope this works, because this is so pretty. And it sounds so good. You know, us junk journal people, we love to hear that crinkle. Ooh, I'm loving it. Oh, I hope it works, because it's so pretty. Guys, this looks so pretty. Look at this. Oh my goodness, this might be my favorite to age. Ooh, I'm loving it, loving it, loving it, loving it. Oh, that is so pretty, guys. Look at that. Oh, I love this. Love this, love this, love this. Oh my goodness, okay. Do I dare try some glue? Let's see. Well, let me show you what it looks like first. So here is the newsprint. This is the doodle paper. And then this is the glassine. And look how different all three of them look. And that's, you know, because of the different types of paper that they've been printed on. So, I guess I'm going to have to take one for the team and try to glue something on here. I don't know what I want to glue on it because I don't want to mess it up. Well, let's just glue a little piece of this on, because if it works, I can stamp something on it. So that's what I'll do. If it works, I'll come back in and stamp something on it so I won't be totally messed it up. Because I really like it. Alright, here goes nothing, guys. I'm going to cry if this messes up. Let me see if my glue's even working. A little bit. Don't come flying off, Cap, like you've done before. Okay, so got some glue on it. I'm going to just put it right down there at the bottom, because I can put like paid or something on it. Alright, so let's take a look. So it's not coming through the back. Give it a second to dry. So I think the Glassine is going to actually work, at least for my printer, my conditions. Just trying to see. It hadn't been dry long enough. I'm wanting to try and pull on it to see what it does, because I'm just curious. But yeah, let me see if there's any others that we want to do real quick while we're waiting on that to dry. I mean, you guys know what this stuff looks like. The Vellum, so pretty. 90 pound. The coffee dye. The drawing paper is very much the same, the way that it would handle. So let's just see. Guys, look, it worked. Okay, so there we go. All right, guys. Well, I am going to get off of here. I hope that answered some of your questions about the different types of paper that I print on and what, you know, the different outcomes are with how you print. So this is just 3 right here that I have, you know, vintaged up. All printed exactly the same, but you see just how different each piece looks. So take that into account whenever you are deciding on your paper. Think about what you are wanting to use the finished product in, or that printed product, and then make your paper choice based on that. So again, this is Glassine, Doodle Paper, Newsprint, 110 pound cardstock, 28 pound paper, 90 pound cardstock. We have the Vellum, coffee dyed paper, presentation paper, drawing paper, and cream cardstock. And I actually, at my other house, I actually have washi paper and lock-to paper. I don't know. And I was hoping that I had some here, but I didn't, because I wanted to show you guys that too. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave me a comment. Give me a thumbs up, and I appreciate it. I'll see you all later. Bye, guys.